everybody. Hello, children. Hello, parents. Hello, guardians. Hello, brothers and sisters. And hello to everybody who makes sure and takes care of children, making sure that they receive the best care ever. Okay? So I want to share something small with you today. And this is in regards to the lesson and some of the things that we are doing. It is such a great privilege that we have this opportunity to be able to share together the word of the Lord, to be able to learn the word of the Lord, not just with the children, but also with everybody as a family. So what I would like to ask you is that I want all of us to be able to participate for the next 30 minutes or so together with the children. Okay? One of the things that we realize is that children best learn when they receive help and assistance. Okay, so it is there for us as parents, as guardians, as older brothers and sisters to be able to help the children even as we continue learning. Okay, some of the things that we do is that we are able to read the Bible together with the children. So even as we read the Bible, some children are still very young and they are not able to read the Bible. So I would like for you to be able to open the scriptures with them and be able to read with them. As we give the story, even as we say the story, some children could lose attention and they could get distracted with a thing or two here and there. It is there for us, as parents, as guardians, and just to help the children to pay a little bit more attention and even to ask questions and to ask them to keep on concentrating. When we are doing our arts and craft, okay, we realize that some of the children are still very young and they're not able to either write, color, or even cut out some of the things that we are doing. It is there for our place as parents, guardians, and even older brothers and sisters to be able to help them through that. The other thing about the art and craft, this is something that can be a reminder, okay, for the whole week until we do our lesson again, or even a continuous reminder of some of the lessons that we are learning with the children. As we go through the Bible, one step at a time, I would like to ask you, parents and guiders and everybody else, just as a family as a whole, that you would be there to be able to help to grow our children. Okay, I want to share with you a scripture which is found in Luke chapter 2 verse 52, and this is what he says. Jesus grew up into a man. He became strong and he could understand more and more things. People thought that he was a good man, and God also thought well of him. Okay, this is where we get our theme, where we say growing up in God's ways. As children, as the children continue growing, I want us as parents, as guidance, as brothers and sisters, as a family as a whole, to help children to grow in God's way. So welcome to our lesson today, and I hope that God will bless you in everything that we do. We are so glad to be with you here today. Yes. Okay, just to do another lesson, on what happened to the children of Israel. Are you happy to be here?
Yes, I'm glad and I'm happy we are learning all this together with the children.
Yes, okay. So today we are going to talk about Moses, okay, and what happened to him at this time, okay? So this is not, it is about the children of Israel, but we are actually going to talk of Moses, okay? So last time, what happened to the children of Israel?
So last time we were learning about how the children of Israel got to the borders of Canaan.
Imagine.
And they sent 12 spies.
Yes, they sent 12 spies
into the land and come and tell them how the land is like.
Yeah.
Then 10 came with a bad report and 2 came with a good report.
Yes.
But the children of Israel decided to listen to the 10 and even wanted to stone the 2 that came with the good report.
Yes, and that was so sad. So they wanted to stone Caleb and Joshua. Those were the 2 spies that actually came with a good report. And God got so upset with them. He got so angry and he spoke through a blazing light and he told them, because you have not trusted me, because you have not believed the promise that I actually gave to you, that I will bring you to the promised land, you are going to wander the desert for 40 more years.
And so right at the borders, they were sent back to the wilderness. And that's how they missed out on getting into the promised land.
Yes. So now in the wilderness, they moved from one oasis to another. And they moved from one oasis to another.
Yeah.
But then now they got to a place where there was no water. Okay? And they did not have water to drink. And you remember before we have also talked, the same thing happened to them.
They didn't have water before, like when they were on their way to Canaan.
Yes.
And then they complained and grumbled, and God gave Moses an instruction.
Yes.
And he told Moses, take your staff and hit the rock, and water came gushing out.
Yes.
And the children of Israel had enough water to drink and to give their animals. And actually the water continued flowing from the rock
Yeah.
until the children of Israel moved from that place.
Yes, so this time around they don't have water, and they start complaining and grumbling again. And they just complain and grumble and complain and grumble.
And they were like, why did you bring us here to die?
Yes.
You should have left us in Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah, so Moses was actually tired of hearing all these
complaining. They even said, we want pomegranates, we want grapes,
We want
figs, we want to eat.
And
but
remember, these were the things
that they saw in
spies
Canaan.
came with from Canaan.
Yes.
So by now they should be enjoying all these pomegranates
and
grapes
grapes,
and everything. But
they
because
couldn't
of
enjoy
their
them.
disobedience,
Yes. And so Aaron and Moses knew that these people, they're just stubborn people. That by now they'll be enjoying all this fruit,
Yes.
but they were not enjoying it
Yes.
because they were right where they were.
Moses
So
and Aaron knew that because of the children of Israel,
Yes.
we are not enjoying Canaan as we should.
as we should. Yeah. So they went to the tent of God, and God spoke to them, and God spoke to Moses, and he gave him an instruction, and he told him, I want you to take your staff, the walking stick that he had, and to speak to a rock that was right
there.
outside there. Okay, but this time God told him, speak to that rock. Yeah.
Remember, kids, the other time God told Moses, take your staff and hit the rock.
Yes.
And Moses hit the rock and water came out. But now God has given him a different instruction. And he says, go speak to that rock.
Yes.
And water will come out from the rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when Moses was given that instruction, so he went outside because God gave him an instruction. So when he went outside and he saw the rock, he started getting angry. He was so angry with the children of Israel because all they did was complain and grumble. And he started thinking,
to them for 40 years.
For 40 years, he started thinking, these children of Israel, all they do is complain and all they do is they grumble. And by the time he got to the rock, instead of doing what God had asked him, because he was angry because of all the complaints of the children of Israel, he was supposed to speak to the rock. But instead of speaking, he did something that he was not supposed to do. He disobeyed God.
Yeah.
He actually took his staff and he hit the rock 2 times in anger. And by hitting the rock 2 times, he did not obey God and he did not trust God.
Yes.
And this time it looked like it was Moses
That
who was
was
bringing out water
from
from
the
this
rock.
rock.
Yeah.
And you know what he told the children of Israel? You rebels, do you want Aaron and I to bring water out of this rock? Must we bring water out of the rock? And that's why he was angry and he struck the rock twice. And when he did that, Moses actually felt good because he had done that. And he also wanted to continue yelling at the children of Israel. But at that time, God spoke to him in his still, small, quiet voice. And he told Moses, what have you done? Why have you disobeyed me? Why have you disobeyed me instead of following what I told you? And immediately Moses regretted.
He knew he
so
was
bad.
very sorry and he felt so bad, but it was too late.
It was too late because he had already disobeyed God. And God told him, because of your disobedience, you will not enter the promised land. Can you imagine? He had gotten so close and they were so close to going back into the promised land. The 40 years had passed, but God said, you're not going to enter the promised land because
so
you have...
sad. It's so sad that they had come all that way. Actually, Moses had even seen God in his glory. But and now
he was not going to enter the promised land.
Simply because he did not obey and he did not trust God so hard.
So a lot of times, children, the same thing happens to us. We get angry. Who has ever gotten angry? Have you ever gotten angry?
Yes, I have.
And when we get angry, we do things that we are not supposed to do. We take our toys and we throw them.
Or you
and then
throw yourself on the ground and you roll. Or you even hit your sibling or your friend. And it's...
Or sometimes even your toy, you get so angry and you throw it and it breaks. And when it breaks, you don't have a toy anymore. And you start regretting.
Or when you hit your sibling or your friend
they
and
get hurt.
Or you throw yourself on the ground and you hurt yourself.
And you're already feeling the pain. So we need to be very careful not to get angry. Because every time we allow ourselves to get angry, even though it feels good at that moment and at that time, it always brings hurt. Something will break,
You'll always regret
and you will always regret. after. So children, I want us to learn. Don't let yourself get angry. Do not have a tantrum. Do not have a temper tantrum, because if you do that when you're angry, then now something wrong will actually happen. The same thing that happened to Moses. He was not able to enter the promised land.
As children of God, we are not supposed to act in anger.
Yes. So we are not supposed to act in anger.
When you act in anger, actually, it shows that you're relying on your own strength.
Yes.
Yeah, because you think you're going to help yourself, because you're angry and you hit your friend.
Yes.
Maybe you've revenged and you think,
Yeah. So now, what I want us to do is, I want all of us to stand up, okay? And we are going to sing a song. And this song is going to show us how to trust in God. In everything that we do, we always need to trust in God, because He will always show us the way. So everybody stand up and let's sing together. Okay, so we are going to now stand up and be able to share this song together. And this song teaches us on how we need to be able to trust God. Yes. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. You'll be my guide for life. I'll walk by your side. With your hand in mine, I'll go where you lead me. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. My eyes can only see the ground beneath my feet. Your dreams are greater, your ways are higher, oh Lord. Please show me. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him. He'll make your path straight. So here we are going to do our craft. And you know what we were talking about? Trusting God.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 3
and verse
5, it says, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And that's the song that we sang. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a love heart. Okay, and this is how our love heart is going to look like. So we need to be able to cut out our love heart like this way. So what we need is a manila paper. So this manila paper was a full manila paper that we cut into 4. So there's that, it was joined together. So we folded it and folded it again, and then we were able to get this part. Now what we'll do, this manila paper is what we're going to use. The other thing that we're going to use is a plate. Really a plate, and it's a side plate, which is, it's not a big plate that we eat food on, just a little smaller plate. Yes, just to get the circle. The other thing that we're going to use is a pair of scissors, okay? And then the other thing that we will use is a ruler, okay? And then a pencil, okay, and a marker pen. You know, we need a marker pen because of what we're going to do. And the most other thing that is a lot of fun is cut up pieces of paper that are red in color. You can cut whatever. You can color red, then paint color, what you call this, get something that is red in color so you can get small pieces of paper.
Yeah.
So the first thing we do, oh yes, we also need glue, because this glue is what we're going to need to stick up these pieces of paper. So there's that glue right there. Okay, so what we are going to do, this manila paper, we'll make sure we fold it into a half. Okay, so we folded it into a half. Okay, and then what we do is the side that is folded, we make sure it is on the left. Okay, the side that is folded, we make sure it's on the left. Okay,
Yes.
and then the other thing we do is we get our plate. Okay, this side plate, and it's a little bit bigger. Now, when we place it on the manila paper, you see we don't place it all the way on top, but we pull it down just a little bit. Okay, and make sure that the plate is there on the side. Okay, so it doesn't come out of the paper, but it is right there inside on the side. And when you do that, it might come out a little bit on that end, but that's okay. So when you do that, you get your pencil and then you draw around it. Okay, you start from one corner and then you draw around it. You come all the way until somewhere there. You don't do the whole circle, but you just come all the way until somewhere there where we are left with a quarter of the paper. So after you're done drawing that semicircle, this is how it's going to look. Okay, you get your ruler. Now what you do with your ruler is you make sure that you draw a line that comes to the corner, right here at the corner. So you join that up and you bring a line all the way down and put it on the corner of your paper. Okay, so that's the line that you're going to get right there. Okay, so that's the line you're going to get. When you do that, the next thing you're going to do is you get a pair of scissors. My line went a little bit off, so I'm just rubbing it just to make sure it's straight. Okay, so you get your pair of scissors and then now you start cutting it out. Okay, so I get my scissors and I cut that out. So you make sure you go all the way. And children, remember, I've always told you, if you're not able to use scissors by yourself, you can get somebody to help you, either your older brother or sister, or your parents, or your guardian, or just an adult to be able to help you so that you don't cut yourself with the scissors. Okay? So when you get that cut out, when you open it up, what does it form? A love heart. Okay, so what we do is right here in the middle, we write with big letters, we write the word trust. Okay, T. Okay, so that's the word trust, it's written there. Have you finished?
Yes.
Okay, so when you write the word trust right in the middle there, okay, we all know that the love heart is red in color. Okay, so what we are going to use is we have a lot of paper right here, and this paper, we are going to use it to be able to stick around. But then now we'll need some glue. So we have our glue right here. Okay, so we'll put it like on one side right here. And then we'll get our pieces of paper. I'll do one side first so that it doesn't dry up before I'm done. Okay?
Yes.
And then we'll get our pieces of paper and we'll stick them on. Make sure we stick them on everywhere. I like this red piece of paper, it's very bright.
So bright.
Yeah. So what this is ribbon that I used to make sure that I get red. And all we're doing is decorating it. Okay? Red in color, so we can have a big decorated love heart. Okay? So let me have some glue. And I'll come on this other side and make sure that I put glue everywhere, so that I can be able to stick my papers all over.
And really the reason we are decorating is a reminder of all the nice and beautiful things
Yes.
that God has done for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we are decorating it so bright, because God loves us so much.
Yeah.
And He has done so many beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to trust Him.
Okay. The thing is, the children of Israel quickly forgot and they did not trust God.
Yeah.
Okay? And then even Moses, he did not trust, Moses and Aaron, Moses actually did not trust God. And what Moses did is, instead of trusting God, he behaved like he's the one who was getting water out of the rock.
Yeah, he leaned on his own
He
understanding.
leaned on his own understanding, and instead of just getting the people to believe God, he was angry.
Yeah.
And you know, when we get angry, sometimes we get upset and we have a bad temper and we end up doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Okay? So the reason why we'll even decorate this is to remind us that we don't need to forget all the good things that God has
God
done.
has done for us.
Yes, and we just need to believe Him that He has our good in mind.
Interest in mind.
Yeah, I think I'm done. I've put enough bread paper, ribbon everywhere, and it's looking nice and bright.
And
Okay?
beautiful.
So every time you see this, you will remember Proverbs 3, verse 5, where it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." Okay?
Yes.
So I think that's it for today. Okay? This will be a reminder that you need to remember to always make sure you trust in God. Okay? So that's our craft for today. And make sure you write that one right in the middle there. Trust. Okay? So that's it for today, children. Bye for now. Okay? Next time, we're going to see what happened to the children of Israel. Okay? And how, whether they continued wandering in the desert, whether they were now able to go into the promised land, whether the 40 years had already passed.
Yeah.
Okay? So
We'll
make sure,
find out.
yeah, so you make sure you join us
Yeah.
so we can get to find out. But for now,
Bye.